Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news.
Hello, great people. Welcome back to our channel. The issue of judicial rascality has been a great concern in Nigeria. And shockingly, CJNs have come and have gone. Nothing reasonable has happened in the judiciary. But then, you get to hear exactly the position of a key stakeholder in PDP as he opened the whole secret behind this judicial rascality. And one of it is that most of them are already in the payroll of some politician, and you begin to wonder what the future will be. But he has sent a strong message to the current CJN talking about Kekere Ekun. We're going to give you full details of this in a jiffy. The former deputy chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Bode George, has cried out on the need to restore the integrity of the judiciary in Nigeria. According to George, some politicians have compromised the integrity of the judicial system, and there are allegations that some judges are even on the payroll of influential politicians. He therefore called on the new Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN, Justice Kudirat Kekere Ekun, to ensure the integrity and esteem status of the judiciary is restored. George made the call in a statement on Sunday. The time to end judicial rascality is now. The former military governor of Ondo State added that it is worrisome and embarrassing that courts in the country have frequently been giving conflicting rulings on the same matter, with the situation now becoming an embarrassment to Nigerians. He cautioned that if left unchecked, these actions could destabilize the country's democracy. In his word, he says, "I congratulate you on your confirmation by the Senate and your swearing in by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the Chief Justice of Nigeria. As a bona fide Lagosian and jurist from the family of legal luminaries, I strongly believe the judiciary will benefit from your wealth of knowledge with you at the helms. I am hopeful the judiciary will reclaim the prominence it once had from the 1950s to the 1980s. Raising the alarm on what he described as judicial rascality emerging from court, George noted that the urgent need to curb the current trajectory and avoid judicial anarchy is now. He explained, he says, judicial decisions today are becoming embarrassing. We have instances where a court mile away from scene of political conflict issuing confusing ruling, leaving Nigerians bewildered, while appellate courts have the power to overturn lower courts' decision. We are seeing a disturbing trend where lower courts without jurisdiction issue counter orders, creating judicial chaos. George advised the CJN to convene a National Judicial Council meeting with the state and federal judges to address these inconsistencies and restore public confidence in the judiciary. He hoped for a return to the time in the 1950s to the 1980s where the integrity of the judiciary was above board. He singled out some past chief judges, including Justice Adetokunbo Ademola, Justice Taslim Elias, and Justice Kayode Eso, for resisting external pressure and maintaining the integrity of the judiciary during their time. According to him, he says, from the 1950s to the 1980s, judges were revered and feared for their impartiality. It was unheard of to attempt bribing a judge, but today some judges are openly accused of being on politicians' payroll. The PDP chieftain, however, lamented that in many political cases since 1999, judges have been accused of delivering judgment that serve the interests of powerful individuals rather than justice. He questioned the delivery of judgment based on technicality that undermines the will of the people. He condemned the trend where just a few judges determine the final verdict in an election participated by millions of voters. In his word, he says, how can 3, 4, or 7 judges decide the outcome of election for millions of Nigerians? What is the essence of voting if judges impose their will over the electoral choices? Judge stressed the need for the judiciary to be vigilant and avoid ruling that could undermine the democratic principle or process, saying judicial officers wield such extensive power. In his word, he said judicial institutional strength is key to Nigeria's development. Judges must resist pressure from politicians and remain impartial. They hold the power of life and death after God, and their judgment must reflect that responsibility. He urged the CJN to take urgent action to restore the credibility of the judiciary and save the Nigerian people from politicians who are bent on compromising the judiciary for their own selfish interests. In his word, he says, today, our politicians who are no better than criminals have compromised the judiciary. This is dangerous for our electoral system and for the future of Nigeria. The time to end judicial rascality is now. That was his conclusion, and I must say that this is a strong one coming from Bode George. We know severally he has shown up in different issues that concern Nigeria to talk expressively, but this time around he's pointing accusing fingers at our judicial system, because what has been happening has gone far beyond expectation. Most Nigerians look at the court as the hope of the common man, as the last hope of the common man. Why? Because when you go in there, they are blindfolded to any individual that comes in. Whoever that he brings up a case and his case is well defended, at the end of the day, that person will walk away with a good judgment. But the case is different right now. I love the fact that people like Bode George is speaking up. And I know that before he speaks up this way, he has heard a lot. How can a judge has his name in the payroll of a politician? How can there ever be justice and fairness in a country like that? That a judge has his name in a payroll of these so criminal politicians, and they keep on using money to weigh down the integrity of judiciary. Today, Nigerians can no more trust in them again. And I think another issue of great concern, which he has made mention, I feel that the National Assembly should do something speedily about it, is the case whereby elections are concluded, but the people's choice cannot be, something we can hold with so much confidence that it will stand. Every time they will run to court, and before you know, the court will be manipulated in such a way that they will give it to people who do not even deserve it. We've watched with our eyes, naked eyes open, someone from fourth position moving to first position. It was one of the most shocking judgments of our time. We've also had some different kind of judgment, which clearly shows that the future of Nigerian electoral system is very bleak until these things are corrected once and for all. I don't know how the new Ekekerekun would do to restore back the dignity of judiciary, because they have lost it a great deal. We are not talking about only at the federal level, even at the state level. It's so transparent, and unfortunately, this is happening because they are not independent enough. Imagine, we call them three arms of government, and they are expected to serve as a watchdog over each other. But unfortunately, the executive is being seen paying the bills of the judiciary. And if they are the ones in charge of the bills, in charge of the salary, in charge of the increment, in charge of their welfare, it's only very simple for them to be bought over, because there is no way a government will come on board and buy you cars, buy you houses, give you a comfortable life, increase your welfare gains and all of that, and you at the end of the day backstab them. It is not possible. And that's why we are seeing the situation we are seeing today in the country. Every day we wake up to very unthinkable things happening in the country. This is not how it should be. I mean, this is quite frustrating for most Nigerians, because you cannot be so sure that if you stand against any politician, you walk away victorious. Why? Because unfortunately, they have used their money to buy the greed of these judicial officers. They use it to buy their conscience. They no more act as though they have the power of the law in their hand. And this is quite devastating, I must say. Thank God that people like Bode George is speaking up. I hope that the National Assembly will do something critical in that area, just to make sure that at least the dignity of judiciary once again is restored. I know that Kekere, being that he had been brought in by the current government of the day, cannot work against the government of the day. Will do everything to ensure that they please them. But however, she still have the right to take a move that will correct this abnormal.